Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS podcast produced by Terrier TV. I am Alligator Robb. I'll stick with that. It works.
That's right.
Mr. Curtis, Cindy, how are you guys?
Doing great.
I'm good.
Yeah, we have these conversations every week that somehow start with Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it never seems to, it doesn't ever get less. The conversation builds about it every week, which is very intriguing to me.
It does. We keep talking way too much about it, is what it is.
She gets brought up every week, whether
That's
or not we want to talk to her
For those
about
of
her
you-
or sheep or not.
For the three people that are listening to this, I thought I would tell you that we have to do sound check before the show. We got to do sound check, and so I've chosen to say the nursery rhyme "Mary Had a Little Lamb" to do sound check.
Then you brainwash us all. Yes.
And now they all do it with me, and then we wonder why.
That's it. Like I said, you started it off, and then everybody else is like, what am I going to say? Of course I'm going to say Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Well, it's the first thing that Thomas Edison ever recorded. When he did sound, and it was the first thing that he spoke into the megaphone and recorded.
There you go with a logical argument yet again.
Or just a really nerdy argument.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah. Good, nerdy, kind of goes. I mean, what are you talking about?
Cindy, has your week been good?
It's been great.
I'm glad to hear it. I haven't said anything crazy yet to make Cindy make me bust into hysterical laughter, so we're all good.
It's coming.
Is it coming? Yeah, leave me time. Today we are joined on the podcast by Mr. Schwindt. Did I get it right? Okay.
Yep.
You're the band director of Titusville High School?
That's correct.
All right. Tell us a little bit about you and where you're from and anything you're willing to tell us, except for your bank account numbers, please, because people are probably listening to that.
Listen, I wouldn't stop you.
I don't even know what just happened. However, my name is Ian Schwindt. I grew up in the middle of Kansas and went to Wichita State to get my degree. And while I was there, got a business degree, but was playing trombone, was there on a trombone scholarship. Realized I really love playing, wanted to keep playing, so I went and got a graduate teaching assistantship at Florida State. While I was there, I started teaching at a school in Tallahassee called Leon High School. Realized, oh man, this is what I'm supposed to do with my life. This is this is my it. So I kind of changed course again to music education, and halfway through my internship, a spot opened up in Brevard County, and I came down, took the interview, and was offered the job and started. I've been here ever since.
How long you been here?
23 years.
Wow. Have you been at Titusville High School that whole time?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, Walt Christie hired him.
That's
You
right.
remember
Okay,
Walt.
indeed.
See, Frank
so
graduated in 99.
You were here when I was here. Okay.
Well, if you graduated in the spring of 99, I didn't get here until the fall of 99.
Okay.
Okay.
So with ships in the night, passing, something.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Man, I keep forgetting. I'm thinking 20 years ago, and it's a lot longer than that at this point.
Oh, man.
I'm losing.
Yeah.
I'm losing it. So tell us a little bit about the role of music in your life and what it means to you to be able to share that passion daily that you have there.
Well, growing up, single mom, 4 boys. Mom knew that she needed to keep us busy and keep us off the street. And what she did when she was growing up was she was a pianist. And she knew that music was a great thing to be involved in. And so she looked at the 4 of us and said, you boys are not going to get into trouble. You're going to be busy in music. My second cousin got kicked out of his house at one point. So we took all of his stuff and put it in our attic. Part of his stuff included a trombone. And so Mom said, you're going to play trombone. And I said, yes, ma'am. And that's what I did. And so it went from there on. But growing up around it all the time, I was definitely inundated with it as a kid. And it just became an innate part of who I was. And it was something I felt like I had a modicum of success with, and then became passionate about it. And as I kind of described, I thought I was going to be a player and a performer. But the more that I got into the education side of things, I realized, no, that's really my passion, is what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be.
Now, you say you have 4 brothers. There were
I'm
4
sorry,
boys. There
4
were 4
boys, right, 3 brothers.
So where do you fall in that?
I'm the oldest of the 4.
You're the oldest. Okay.
Oldest. It was there was a time that we were living in an apartment, and it was a duplex, and the duplex had a total of 4 rooms. There were 2 bedrooms. Mom had one. The 4 of us stayed in 2 bunk beds in the other, and then there was a room downstairs. 2 rooms downstairs, and all 4 of us were played. So I played trombone. The next brother played trumpet, then a drummer, and then a saxophone player. So we would all, Mom, again, getting us out of trouble. You boys from 4 to 5 will practice your instruments. And yes, Mom. Well, whatever tempo the drummer played, that's what everybody practiced at. It didn't matter, man. Doom, doom, chak, boom, boom, ba da da da. That's what was going to happen in the house, and that's kind of where it was. And so, but we all grew up with that and had that passion. And all of us now are actually in music. The twin brothers, the two that are younger than me, are both in music ministry as part of a church, different churches. And then the youngest actually is a musicologist up in Berkeley in Boston, and Brandeis, and teaches up there.
Are any of them down here? Are they all, the rest of them still out west?
Well, we all kind of scattered, but we've all ended up on the East Coast. So one is down in Fort Lauderdale, then there's me, then there's North Carolina, and then there's Boston.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, what is it like for you to be able to share that passion daily with your students?
It's really cool. I always try to, and I think everybody does, the piece of advice that everybody seems to give graduating seniors is never work a day in your life. Find something you love and do that, and it'll never feel like work. Well, I'm one of the lucky few that actually ended up walking into that. And it doesn't mean it's not hard to get up some days. I mean, some days I'm tired, some days I'm old, some days I'm cranky. Bill Curtis. I mean, it's just one of those things.
And you put in an incredible amount of hours.
It is because the kids really, once they start tasting what it's like to be good, oh man, and they just want that junk, and it feeds and it keeps going. So we usually start around 6 in the morning, and then we have a full rehearsal at 7:30. Then we have our 4 blocks, and then it goes after school, and then on marching times it happens after school and stuff like that. So it's pretty. I guess we stay pretty busy with it, but it's great. We love it. Mm-hmm. The kids are into it. It's one of those things we were just talking about today with the freshman band. I was asking the freshman band to do something that's really cerebral and really difficult, and they were not having a good time. I mean, it just wasn't easy. It was like, wah, and they were, get a little frustrated. And I just stopped and I said, y'all, what you're doing right now is why music kids score 20 to 40 points higher on the SAT and 4 points higher on the ACT. It's why colleges, the best indication of you getting a college degree is that you played high school music. The fact that law school and medical school take more music majors than they do pre-med and pre-law majors into their schools is because they know that what you're doing right now is you are creating a person who is ridiculously disciplined, works to do it right on the first time, and knows how to work as a team and understands the responsibility of every individual. One of the really cool things I love about music is that there are no bench people. Everybody participates all the time, 100%. There's no benching somebody. There is no, you can't do what you want to do, so we're going to put you down and pull somebody else up. No. We're going to take time to teach you to do it, because every single human being in this room right now is critical to our success. You have to be really good, and I believe in you, and we're going to take the time to invest in you to make sure that you are really good. And then they kind of feed on that, and they understand the importance of what they do, that every single person counts.
I will tell you that, Frank, it is an enormously tight group. They, the band kids.
The band always has been.
Yeah, oh yeah.
My husband was one of those band kids, and to this day, he's still friends with the guys he was in band with, right here at Titusville High School.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, I'm trying to think of the way to ask this question then. Does teaching lend itself to music, or does music lend itself to teaching? I mean, how would you look at that? You know what I mean?
It's so weird. Depends on what time of day you ask me that question, because I think about it a lot, and I really don't know. I don't know because they go so hand in hand. But I do like to think of myself using music as a vehicle to help students grow as human beings. And I think the most important part, and I'm sorry, I'm going to rabbit trail everywhere.
No, you're literally covering the questions I want to ask, but you're covering them in a different order, and it's great. So please, by all means, keep going.
One of the things I love the most about music is it's a universal language. If I go into the hill country in China and I try to tell someone about the passing of my mom, and I use the English language, it will mean nothing to them, and nor should it. And that's not a knock on anybody. That's just reality. But if I take my instrument out and play a ridiculously sad song and they feel my passion coming through, those people understand how I felt. And they can empathize with me as a human being and understand the pain that I'm going through. Well, in music education, we get to teach the kids sitting in our room empathy across the human race. And that's another thing that I love about teaching music is we're hopefully helping students get ideas on how to be better human beings, to understand the human condition, to understand other people. Don't put people in their place, put yourself in their place. Try to feel how they're feeling. Understand what it is that they went through, and then you're going to be in a better position to help them to be part of what it is that they're doing. And it even comes back to that teamwork thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's important. Every human being adds value to our collective human race.
That's very heavy and beautiful at the
I
same
love
time.
it.
Yeah, it's heavy and beautiful at the same time. It's weird to say that, but yeah, wow. Okay, that's really good. So I know a lot of people use music and band to get their college degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Like you did. So tell us about that journey. How are you using that through high school to help kids get into college?
So we talked a little bit about the ancillary things of if you do music, you are going to do better on test scores. The standardized test is a huge vehicle to do that. We do have, we're really lucky that we have Titusville High School has a reputation throughout the state and really the Southeast that if a kid survives the Titusville High School music program, they learn something. Because it's a rigorous program, no doubt about it. Every student we've ever had audition at, I want to say BCC, but I should say EFSC because that's the right way to say it. Every kid that's ever auditioned has always gotten a music scholarship, 100% of the time. If they've wanted it, they've gotten it. And a lot of the major universities as well. We had a student not so long ago who wanted to go to the University of Florida and didn't quite have the best grades overall. And the test scores were okay, but not great, and they did not get into the University of Florida. However, he was a ridiculously good trombone player, went and auditioned on trombone, and they said, okay, we need you. So they figured out a way to get him in, and he ended up getting to go to the University of Florida because he played trombone so well. And it wasn't even a trombone major, but he just wanted to, but they said, we need you in our ensembles, and they made it happen. We have a lot of, I'm thinking about, we had a girl named Brittany, who her mom actually taught Dr. Sorensen at Jackson for years and years. And Brittany was a brilliant kid. And she went and played saxophone at the University of Florida again, but she used it for her medical degree and is now a pediatrician.
Wow.
Because she, but that's what she does, is she used that as her vehicle to get in. But a lot of kids will use those kind of things. And even in kids that aren't necessarily looking to get a music scholarship or they're not looking to continue to play seriously, I look at a lot of students that go to Florida State. And what they will do is they will just play in the marching chiefs, the marching band of Florida State. Well, what that does, it's fun. Yeah, great. Go to football games. We're losing every game right now, but they don't care because they're having a good time in the stands. But what it does is it connects them to the community. Because I can't tell you how many students, and I'm sure we can all think of them, went to the big college and went to their classes and then sat in their dorm room and felt very isolated, lonely. And for that first year, they're back home because they didn't really have a chance to connect and become part of the community. Well, music does that, whether they're in the marching band, whether they're in the orchestra, whether they're in the chorus. It immediately gives them for lack of a better word, family inside of that big school that they are now a part of. And they feel like they are the fabric of that school and they have connections and then now they want to stay there. And it propels them to go ahead and study a little bit extra to make sure they get good grades to stay at school. It propels them, I should really go to class because this is good and I want to do those other things. And it's an extension of high school. How many folks do we know in high school that TV production is what helps motivate them to go to English class?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I hear that from kids. They say that, the only reason I came to school my senior year was to go to your class.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many kids we have that with all those different programs, and music's another one of those programs, and it continues right on into college as well.
So we had Miss Gonzalez on here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably air next week, I'm guessing, or week after. But she used, we were asking her about some things that were different about THS than other schools. And it was a pretty cool opportunity for her to do a little bit of recruiting. Say there's some students out there that are looking at a handful of schools across Brevard County. What makes our band program different or something they should be approaching above anybody else?
That's a hard question for me to answer because I think my goal as a music educator is that every single school has an incredible music program. And I spend a lot of time going to all the different schools in Brevard County and really across the state. Because I've been at one school for so long, I kind of figured some stuff out, and it's just longevity. You just do it. So I try to make my way around to as many schools as possible to help to make sure every kid in every school has a great music program. And so when I go to Jackson, I'm telling those kids, I don't care where you go to high school, you need to do music wherever it is. Now, if you come to Titusville, this is what we do and this is how we do it. And Titusville is very fortunate. We are nationally recognized for a lot of things we do. We're music that we do. We just got an award in Chicago last year at the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic. We are a music demonstration school for the state of Florida. We won an enrollment award because we have such a large percentage of our school population that's involved in music at our school. So those are things, that we're really proud of for sure. And any kid that comes here, we're gonna do our best to give them a great experience in whatever they do. But I don't care where the kid goes to school, they need to be part of music because we believe that music is for everybody, and we'll make sure that we work to do that.
I think you sold that a lot better than you think you did. Okay, so let's say we have an entire band, right? We have a band set up right now. I always wanted to ask somebody this: what is the most important instrument in the band? Or does every director have a different view of that?
There really isn't. In all honesty, there's not a more important. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't be there.
So I mean, if let's say you have the entire ensemble there, is there instruments that you could do without and be fine, or is there instruments you need more of than others?
I think I get what you're asking, but really, they're all super important because they all play a very different role. The tuba builds the foundation of the band.
Okay.
I can't live in a foundation, but without a foundation, I don't have a house. And the flutes, we'll say, are the decorations. I mean, they do beautiful, so they're all the windows. So
Okay.
I can have a house, but without windows, it's not as good. So are the walls the most important? Well, I don't know. Everybody has a different role that they create. Now, if you were to ask me in this particular piece, which instrument's the most important? Well, the trumpets play the melody most of the time, so we need to be able to hear the melody. But that melody's really boring without some accompaniment or some harmonic things happening behind it to make the melody sound more interesting. So I'm sorry, I feel like I'm dodging your
No, I
question.
think that was probably the
Yeah.
best answer to that question there could possibly be.
But that's kind of my thought on it when I look at what's the most important.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever really considered it that way. I never was part of band or anything like that. I had plenty of friends that were, and to someone who's on the outside watching that, it's kind of magical watching it all come together and watching everybody just make these songs and things together, and it's above my pay grade, I guess. It's just really neat.
Plus, as a parent, band parents, God bless all of you, because people who don't understand, you have to start off in elementary school. And elementary school, there's a special place in heaven for people who go to concerts of elementary school children, especially orchestra.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Stringed instruments played by elementary school students. Wow. And then middle school, they get a little bit better. And then all of a sudden in high school, it's like, wow, this sounds like something, I would hear on the radio or something. And I'm no longer thinking somebody's strangling a cat somewhere. And so that progression and what you guys do with them and it's just amazing. What do you think it is when they get to high school that they make that leap? Is it maturity? Is it?
There's no substitute for time. Anything you do, anything you practice, you get better at over time. And of course, we want it to be directed practice that they get really good at. But part of it is the mental side of it too. We talked about a little bit ago, I kind of mentioned people trying to get it right on the first time. So that's a mental discipline that we're going to have 60 people and everybody gets it right in the first time. Well, that's just a mental discipline to get it going, because one person plays wrongly, everybody sounds bad. So it's got to be all together. And I often tell the kids, I'm like, look, this is a life skill, especially in higher level things. I don't want to be sitting in the operating room. My doctor goes, whoops, hold on, let me do that again. Whoa, no, I don't want that junk, man. First time right, thank you. Of putting together a spaceship, a rocket. Whoops. No. It's got to be right the first time. And so that mental preparation, the mental diligence to be able to do what we do to manipulate the physical instrument and make sound, or the voice, to be able to do that so well that now we can listen and hear and pay attention to other people because it's automatic. When was the last time that we thought about how we walked across the floor? Well, we don't think about it at all because it's automatic. We do it now so we can pay attention to more things. And so the better the student gets, the more they can pay attention to, the more they can put their sounds together, the more they can play at the same time, play in tune, put those sounds together. Who has the melody? Let me get out of the way so the melody gets heard. Those kinds of things they can start to pay attention to. So I really think it is a physical thing, but a lot of it's mostly mental. And so maybe maturity, like you said, is a big part of it. Our brains just get more ability to think about more than one thing at a time.
Do you like bonsai trees?
I do.
Yeah, I can. For some reason, I can just imagine you saying all that and bonsai tree limbs getting clipped and something getting molded. I don't know why I just put all that together somehow, but yeah.
It's a good call, though.
Yeah.
And as a person who grew up with Karate Kid, I'm all about bonsai trees.
There you go.
That was it. Yeah.
No, I'm just watching you, listening to you put all that together. You know what I mean, and describe all that, and it was. I don't know. That was way above. That was way above anything I could pull off.
Well, and my favorite part is my goal is to, as all teachers, is to teach ourselves obsolete. I think, Mr. Curtis, you do an incredible job of that. You train these students, and then you say, "See y'all," and they walk all over campus and create these incredible movies. You just check in, "Hey, how's it going? Okay, good job. Anybody have any questions? Let me help you with this." But they're really doing it, and that's our goal in music too, is that we just back off and the kids are doing all of it.
If you have the entire ensemble sitting there, right, and you have all these different groups of instruments, these different groups of kids with different instruments playing different things, how in the world, as the director up front, are you telling them higher or lower notes, and how in the world is that all? Again, it seems magical from somebody who doesn't understand it. How do you communicate with that whole group? It's like, I guess it'd be like a football team, communicating to a football team, but how do you get everybody on the same page? Is it just practice over and over again? Is that what it is, or?
To a certain degree, and then training them how to be together. So, of course, they're looking at a piece of music. And so it tells them what pitches to play at what time and for how long.
Okay.
And so they can see that. And then we just have a certain pulse going through the group. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we learn how to feel that and stay together. And then my job as the conductor is to wave my arms in certain patterns that communicates to students where we are in those pulses.
Okay.
So the beats are divided into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the music they're reading is in little 4-beat chunks. And they all know that we're going to do this measure 1, or chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3, and we're going to move together at the same time. So really all I'm communicating is where we are in time. And then there may be some times that I'll give them an indication of your section needs to play a little bit softer, your section needs to play a little bit louder to balance so that we hear what we need to hear equally. But their job is to listen to each other,
Okay.
and to play in tune and to match what else is going on. Are we starting the note harshly? Are we starting the note softly? Are we starting the note with a lot of front? Or are we starting the note with more of a rounded shape? And they have to match that with each other.
So even though they're all playing the same song, the different groups of instruments might have different notes they're playing?
100%.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
That I can, okay. I don't know why I did not know that.
No, that's okay.
Excuse my ignorance.
No, it's good. So it might be that the flutes are playing a melody and the trombones are playing chords that the melody goes on top of, and then the percussion are playing some rhythmic things that go on behind to help with that. And so everybody has a different role at a different time. But then later in the piece, now the trombones have the melody and the clarinets are playing the accompaniment to what the trombones are doing. And so our job is to sensitize the students to realize what their role is at any given moment and adjust accordingly. So oftentimes teachers talk about higher order thinking skills and questioning. Well, our questions are, I may ask, all right, y'all, stop. Who has the melody right there? I don't want you to tell me. We're going to play it again, and I want you to play your part in such a way that you are telling me that you understand who has the melody. So now those kids have to go, wait a minute, who has the melody? Okay. So I have to listen and hear that. And I realize, I do have the melody, I'm going to play louder. Somebody else who doesn't, I'm going to play softer. So they don't say that to me. They have to respond with the way they play their music.
What an amazing way to teach personal awareness and personal responsibility.
100%. 100%. And that's why, Bill, you just talked about how does it change so drastically. The more aware that they become, the better they get at what they do.
Yeah, because when they're middle school students, they're not aware of anything.
No.
Music is a team sport. I mean, that's what you've just described is literally every team sport I've ever been part of or coached. When you're preaching to the kids over and over again to do your job. Don't worry about everybody else's job. Do your job, and then it all after experience of doing it over and over again, you learn exactly what your job is. Not to worry about where everybody else is at. They're going to be there automatically. That makes sense to me now, and it's kind of a little bit scary. Yeah. It's scary, awesome.
Absolutely.
20 years of performances, that's a long time. Do you have one that sticks out to you as like your favorite performance or project that you've been a part of with the school kids?
You know, there's a guy named Jim Matthews who taught at Jackson Middle School for 30 years and is now working for the county. He goes from school to school to help everybody and kind of comes in and gives us advice on how to make ourselves even better. And he and I had that exact question. And you know, there have been some incredible performances. But when I think back across the 23 years, it's not those performances. What it is for me, it's the way that I felt creating music with that particular group of people. So I remember a lot of feelings. I remember a lot of bonds, of a lot of connections with students or certain groups of students. That's what stands out to me as I think back. And that's really what I love is those connections. And in fact, this Friday, every Mother's Day, we do it every Friday before every Mother's Day, we have our final band concert. And we invite back any alumni that wants to come in. They're going to play the last couple songs with us. And every year we'll have 60, 70, 80 people come in to play again. And it's so incredible to see those people walk in. And it's like they never left. It's like, oh, you guys are right back. And we talk and we catch up about all the things they're doing with their lives and all that kind of stuff. It's really special to get to do those things.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. It is. And it's and Mr. Curtis gets it a little bit, but I don't even know if it's quite as intense because for me, the students are with me for 4 years. Every semester, every class. And not only are we in class doing that, but we do all the outside stuff, every football game that we do, every concert, sectionals before school, sectionals after school, training them to become leaders, doing all those things. There's a lot that we do with those students. So we really have a chance to build that bond with them and get to know them as people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always figured my experience is kind of a mini thing of what band is. Yours is much more intense because, like 4 years and all the extracurricular stuff. I mean, you guys are like, almost going on campouts together and stuff like that. And,
right. It is, since you brought it up, it's a goofy story, but there was a group that graduated 6 years ago and they went to Springs. It was after graduation. It was the next weekend. They said, we're going camping. Mr. Schwindt was on. You guys are coming. So
that's awesome.
We actually drove out and did that one night with them and went on the kayaks and did all kinds of stuff with them. So it was really cool. But yeah, it's that kind of bond, those kind of relationships we build over time with them.
Oh yeah, that's incredible.
And their parents too, because their parents are the ones working the concession stand, doing the chaperoning, getting the uniforms together, doing all that kind of stuff. So we get to know the parents as well too.
Does it sting a little bit to now have one of your former students as your rival at Astronaut?
No, that's really cool. Really cool. No, I love that stuff. It's, and I've got kids of former students in my band, and so it just keeps going and doing all that kind of stuff. No, I love having all that stuff. It's really cool. We've got former THS kids teaching, there's 3 of them down south, and then there's 7 of them in Orlando, and they're everywhere. So no, I absolutely love it. It's great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, guys, what do you say? We're ready to do some trivia?
Yeah, let's see what Cindy has for
I
us.
made the trivia this week.
Awesome.
I don't want to admit how overwhelmingly hard that actually was. Like, I don't know how Frank does it each week, but I put way more research in this than I want to admit.
I get to the point where I enjoy it. It's I don't know, it's like a weird disease where you just can't quite get enough of it. Whether or not you want to or not. It's part of how you do every day, and it's weird.
All right, so is this one of those things that we just yell it out as soon as we know? Or
Yes.
look
Well,
at
we're going to
we'll do
defer
some
to you
we'll do some
as the
teamwork
guest.
here. Yeah.
So-
We will defer to you, and then when you feel dumb enough, we'll jump in.
We always try to tailor it to our guests. So
Okay.
this week, the first half is unusual trombone facts. and the second half is just unusual music facts because, believe it or not, it's hard to find 10 unusual facts about trombones if you don't know anything about trombones.
Yeah. Well, Abraham Lincoln said, better to keep your mouth closed and have people think you're a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. So if I'm just giving you the blank stare, that's what's going on.
That's what's
I was
going on.
afraid.
Yeah,
I was literally afraid for 1 second you had an Abraham Lincoln trombone fact, and I was
I
like,
really thought that was where it was going
like,
to
is this an
be
Abraham
honest.
Lincoln trombone quote? Because this is my.
Now I just got to make something up. Now I don't know what it is, but something's coming out.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, so let's
Okay.
do this.
I'll try not to let everyone down. This famous trombonist was also a major in the United States Army. He disappeared mysteriously during World War II when flying to France to perform for Allied troops.
Yep, big band trombone leader, and I'm looking at his face. I'm blanking on his name.
Good. There were like all these
Give it-
rumors that he was like a secret spy, double agent.
Yeah.
That I now know from Googling at
Maybe
3
a
a.m.
maybe a letter hint.
GM are his initials.
Why am I blanking on this, Mr.
Would
Curtis?
would it be Glenn Miller?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. My Lord, I'm really
Okay.
embarrassed now. I think I'm going to lose my trombone card.
Uh-oh.
That's bad.
I don't want to
Wow.
play the trombone. Don't give me
That's
that. You can give it. No.
I've never even heard that story. It's one I never heard.
I didn't. I knew the Glenn Miller band, and I thought, maybe he played the trombone. I
So
wasn't
read
sure.
that question one more time.
This famous trombonist was also a major in the United States Army. He disappeared mysteriously during World War II when flying to France to perform for Allied troops.
She just put my questions to shame.
He's never
She
been
did.
found.
Yeah, my
No.
questions.
There are
have been
all
put to
kinds of
shame.
rumors.
Really, he never was found.
Never was found.
Never.
There's a movie, The Glenn Miller Story, and that's the way that it ends. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm googling this later on.
All right, number 2. The trombone was derived from this instrument first introduced in the 15th century.
That was sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was saying that's the sack butt.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sack butt.
Don't let Frank say that.
I read that word and I was like, all right, that's a question.
So, was it shorter? I'm guessing it was shorter.
Well, actually, they had 4 of them. They had soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And it was actually the first instrument allowed to be played in the church, even before keyboard or anything else. And it was used to accompany the choirs and reinforce what they sang. And so many of Mozart's works and Beethoven's works still used it in that traditional sense later
Well,
on.
I have a feeling you're going to get the next question.
Okay, well, who knows? Probably not. I didn't know Glenn Miller, so already it's bad.
The trombone was originally considered a sacred instrument used in religious music. This famous composer was the first to use it in secular music.
Oh, Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 in the 4th movement. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that one I did.
There we go. You knew that too, Frank, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
and
mean, that was an easy
boy.
one.
Yeah, that one's easy.
That was a softball, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Make them hard.
Good Lord.
With all of its tubing stretched out, how long would a trombone be?
Oh my gosh, is it 12 feet?
9 feet,
9
according
feet,
to Google,
okay.
but you might know better.
Oh, I'm sure 9 feet is right.
Are they all the same length? I wonder if they're all. I mean, I'm sure there's some that have longer tubes than others, right?
They're all the same length. Some will just have a larger diameter or bore, and then there are some that put special attachments on them to make it to facilitate technical passages.
Okay.
That's
So
way easier to play than say.
Say 12 is probably fair then.
Yeah. All right.
12 is fair.
We'll
Between
go with
not,
I'll
3
just have
feet's
you
fair.
know that my husband was a trombonist and helped zero with these questions, by the way.
Really?
I got no help.
Uh-oh, that's
Nothing.
not good. Not
Wow. Just got called out.
This instrument was popular in the early 1800s with French military bands. The end looks like the head of a dragon.
The serpent. Is that the one that which was the ophicleide, which turned into tuba? Is that what you're asking? The bass trombone?
According to Google,
Okay, sorry.
good. According to
I don't know
There's-
how to pronounce this. Buccin? Buchin? Buckin?
Bucina? I don't know that. That one I don't know.
Okay.
But there was the serpent that came from so they could lower what the trombone was doing, and then Berlioz was the first one to really use the ophicleide, which then became the tuba. So it sounds similar to what you're describing, but
I'm going to defer to you on that. I'm going to assume you know more than I do.
There's an instrument called the serpent.
Yes, there is.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 2016, this composer sold more CDs than Beyonce when a box set commemorating the 225th anniversary of his death was released.
This box set of his music 250 years ago from 2015 to commemorate his death.
2016.
16.
She said, yeah.
225th anniversary.
25th. So
Oh, he's doing math now.
I'm trying. It ain't going very well either. There's steam coming out. Woo.
Well, you figure 200, and then
Right.
you'd
So
minus
18.
9.
18,
9 from that.
16, 18, 1808.
No, it would
No,
be
17
91, something 91.
1791.
1791.
1791 might have been Mozart.
It was Mozart.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. There you
He
go.
outsold Beyonce in 2016.
Oh.
I feel like we had
There
part
we
of
go.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for the
did.
math assist.
There, yeah, a little
Math
bit of math.
assist. That was good.
All right.
The most expensive musical instrument ever sold went for $15.9 million. What type of instrument was it?
Was that a Stradivarius violin?
It was.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you know these things?
Oh no, well, Stradivarius. Everybody
Yeah,
knows.
kinda-
That's just
Everybody
expensive.
knows. Yeah.
yeah, for
expensive.
sure.
I did not know
You
that.
didn't know that, Frank?
No, I had no idea.
You were
So,
trivia
okay.
guy.
All right. So, since you're there, these
Lord.
instruments were made hundreds of years ago, and they cannot replicate it ever. What they do is they would cut down these particular trees and send them down rivers down to Italy. Well, they think that those logs being soaked in that particular water that was running at that time, and then made by the person Stradivarius, that they vibrate differently, and they cannot replicate what these logs sound like, and that's why they're so expensive now. Obviously, over time, there's less and less of them.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah,
That
it's
is
crazy.
incredible.
And there was one guy who actually left his in the back seat of a cab.
No.
He got out of a cab and just took off. He was like, luckily they found it 3 or 4 weeks later.
How do you forget something worth millions? Like, I need to know that, first of all.
I know.
Pocket change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're owned by multi-billionaire people, and then they are loaned to musicians to use.
Wow.
Like if you win a particular competition, part of that prize might be that you get to use this person's violin or something of that nature. But rarely do the owners actually play them.
Now, would that be something that, needs to be used? Otherwise, it would deteriorate, or
Yeah, absolutely, because it would definitely stiffen and harden. And there's they're called luthieres, are people that work on string instruments, and they are trained for years and years, long apprenticeship to learn how to deal with those instruments for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your trivia questions, man, they're leading some places. I
that's
like it.
that. Yeah,
I love this.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this, but I love it. I was like, $15.9 million. That's insane. What's wrong with these people?
That's usually
Now
what
I
they
get
go
it.
for,
They were made with witchcraft, so
pretty much. Witchcraft ain't cheap,
checks out.
girlfriend. It just ain't cheap.
Checks out. In 2014, a group of researchers created an online test called Hooked on Music. It featured snippets from 1,000 pop songs and asked participants to identify them as quickly as possible. The average time to identify a song was 5 seconds, but this song averaged only 2.3 seconds, earning it the title of catchiest pop song ever.
Mary Had a Little Lamb.
It was not,
Damn.
Frank. I am sorry to let you down.
Damn. That I'm not going to know. That one I don't know. But if you tell me the name of it, I'll probably sing it.
So it's from, I'd say, the 2000s time range. Catchiest pop song. Come on, Frank.
I Will Rock You? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't have no idea. That was a long time before that.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
stop believing. No, it's not
Think female.
female. Okay,
Any of you guys in there know the answer to this?
they're not paying attention. To it.
No.
I got.
Spice Girls. Wannabe.
Are
No,
you
no.
serious?
I'm
Oh, okay.
serious.
She
That
was.
is so
She thought the
sad.
Macarena.
I would've gotten that one.
I
I would have gotten that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
All right. I can see it.
I
But it
don't-
is true, though.
I don't know what that song is.
What?
Honest to goodness, don't know what that song is.
That's one of those
My
earworms.
head just exploded.
It
What?
gets in your ear and just won't go away.
Okay.
You said Spice Girls?
yes. You
I
know.
don't know who
Girls.
that is.
What?
No, Frank.
That's kind of sad.
I can't move forward from this. I can't. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going out for drinks, and it's going to be nothing but Spice Girls. Yeah.
Drink a lot.
yeah.
Drink a lot if it's going to be Spice Girls.
Oh, Lord.
I'm
Sorry,
so-
Cindy.
My heart is broken.
Sorry.
I can't even. What country hails do the most metal bands hail from? This one threw me for a loop.
Sweden has a lot.
Would be
but I don't know
Germany?
if it's them.
Similar area.
Similar area to Germany and Sweden.
What about Denmark?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Similar
Norway?
to Germany and Sweden.
Finland.
Finland does.
Finland.
Yeah.
Why?
Scandinavia.
Like, what's going on
There's
over there?
some very cold winters there,
Yes, there are.
and it does strange things to a
They get
person.
after it, yeah. For
Well,
sure.
and there's nothing else to do.
That's right. You're in a
It's-
garage or in a basement.
What else you gonna
and-
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one.
Uh-oh.
Who is the only band to have played on all 7 continents?
Including Antarctica. So it had to be somebody that had to go to Antarctica, and I remember hearing about it a long time ago.
You too?
Good guess, but no.
Streets have no name in Antarctica.
Yeah,
So
that's
you were right
true.
there.
That might be it, yeah.
You were there.
Okay.
Okay, so it wasn't U2. Beatles,
Nope.
Rolling Stones.
Nope, but you're getting warmer.
It's
You're in the
that
right
area?
genre.
Okay. In the rock and roll genre. The Doors.
Nope.
Ooh, The Who.
Nope.
No, okay.
Still
Ooh,
making
let's
music
go.
today.
Still making music today, huh?
Chicago.
Nope.
Um,
What harmony?
Turn your mic
You
on.
gotta
Say
turn-
something.
She
Turn
said
your
Guns
mic
N'
on.
Roses, but it is not Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
You can turn your mic on.
You can turn your mic on, Harmony.
I don't think Axel has enough body fat to
Is it
survive
Metallica?
Antarctica.
It is Metallica.
Metallica, there you go.
Harmony got it.
Harmony got it.
They have the facial hair to stay warm.
They
See,
do.
there you go.
They're
Yeah.
good. They're fine.
You had to add that.
The 3 of us will be fine. I'm not sure what's going to happen to you.
Cindy's in trouble, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So-
my garage. Well, thank you, sir, for being on here with us. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Hey, you don't know anybody that teaches the bagpipes, do you?
I don't.
That's
but
one
I
I've
can
always
definitely
that's
find
one
out.
I've always wanted to learn.
It's a great instrument.
Yeah, I've always wanted to learn the bagpipes. I don't know why, but you can never find anybody.
He
that
has
teaches them.
neighbors that he's mad at.
No, really, thank you for being here, and yeah, it's. And you guys got anything crazy going on the rest? You got anything interesting coming up?
Well, by the time this podcast airs,
Yeah,
we will
if it's
That's
this
always
weekend,
the
we're in
problem.
trouble. Yes.
right, because we have a concert tomorrow night. We have a concert on Friday, but then this summer,
You can put the vibe out there.
right, there it goes. It's happening.
Yeah.
Then the beginning of June, for 2 weeks, we do a summer music enrichment program for kids 5th grade through 12th grade at Jackson Middle School for 2 weeks. And then we'll be firing up band camp again to get learning next year's marching show in late July.
Okay. Yeah, that's something they have to sign up for, or
That's something when they enroll in the class, it's
Okay.
automatic.
all right.
Yep.
Bill, Cindy, anything
Bill?
going on this weekend?
Not this weekend. I mean, not that, because nobody's going to know. So, yeah, no.
I have no idea. I don't know what weekend it is, Frank.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know
This
what
could
weekend it's going to
possibly
be.
be June.
Could be June. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be in Texas for most of June. So.
There you go. Good for you.
We
buddy.
will have just delivered 12,000 pounds of onions from our last onion fundraiser.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
12,000 pounds.
I got roped into buying a lot of onions.
Yeah, thank you. You're part of that 12,000 pounds.
Yes, I am.
The
That's crazy
shipment got
talk.
delayed because we cannot find a semi or a driver who is available to drive it this weekend. So I guess
Wow.
that shortage, it's everywhere, so they'll get here next week.
Yikes.
Even in band fundraising. The
Wow.
economy, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.